got the Parker baits. Well, that's it. I've actually caught common carp. Oh my word. How do I turn this down? No. Wrong way. Go down. That's better. Well, good morning, welcome to Aquatic College. My name is Brian. Today I'm at a rainy Coole Acres Fisheries. I am on Fox Lake and I have managed to drag... Do you mind? I'm trying to film. Can you be quiet for a minute? Thank you. I've got a little coot thing which has been murdering me all morning. Yeah, I'm at Fox Lake at Coole Acres Fisheries. I'm here for a 48-hour session. It's a Thursday morning. I got here at 8:30 and the only peg that was available was peg 13. I have put 3 rods out. When I got here there was a bit of fizzing to the left and right, about a rod length and a half off the bank. So I literally chucked a couple of mesh bags over the top of them. And then the final rod I have put, which is the middle one, I've put over towards the island. I'll put some overlay footage now, but there is an island straight across from me and there's a gap in between it, and that is exactly 6 wraps out to the overhanging tree. So I've put a solid bag rod under there at 6 wraps. When I did the marker float and lead, it was round about 4 foot deep. Which when you get close to the island it goes up to like 2 foot, which we saw last time I fished here back in March. So yeah, I've chucked one under there, and since then there has been an absolutely massive swirl on the surface at the other side of that gap where the island is. I could only describe it as a crocodile because it was absolutely enormous. It must be been one of the bigger catfish that are in here. There's catfish up to, I think it's 50-60 pound, and the carp go up to, I think it's mid-30s. There's some absolutely stunning carp in here, so fingers crossed I can get one. Obviously my PB is £21, so anything over £21 would absolutely be fantastic. But yeah, it's been raining ever since I got here at 8:30 this morning, so I'm sorry about the lack of footage. I saw a kingfisher was sat at the branch on the edge of this peg, so hopefully it's a lucky omen, and hopefully I can bring you a carp. So yeah, I'll show you where I'm casting to when the rain stops. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in a bit with the carp, and if not, I'm going to film some wildlife because it's absolutely stunning. I'll see you in a bit. What are you doing? I've got no food for you. No food. So yeah, the 2 spots were off here. There was fizzing earlier on, and the same over here. There was fizzing there as well. So I've literally chucked both my outside rods are out there, and then the middle rod is in this little cut out here. So it's 6 wraps to the edge of here. Closer to that island, it gets shallower to like 2 foot. So I didn't want one there. So I've literally chucked it in this little cut there, and through there was where the absolutely huge catfish swirled. It's a massive commotion on the surface, and then since I've had my rods out, there was a carp jump there. It looked quite big, probably a high double. And yeah, other than that, it's there's not a lot going on, to be honest. I'm tempted to put one a bit further off here. I'm going to see how deep it is down this bit here, because I know when you get to the edge it gets quite shallow. So I'll have one off here, I'm tempted to put 2 out there to see whether I can make the most of that channel, because that's where I've seen the one fish jump. If not, I might chuck one down the edge. I know this is what Glyn would want me to do, would be chuck some in the edge, because Glyn's always a margin fisher. So yeah, we'll see what goes on. I'm just going to watch the water for a bit and try and figure out if there's any fish and where they are, and then based upon that I'll chuck a bit of bait out. I have got some spod mix which I can spod out and just spoonful in the margins, and yeah, hopefully we can get a fish. I did see a kingfisher before, which was, when I got here, it was up in this tree on this branch here, so it was a lucky omen. I've just been I've seen it over that way there where that island is. It's quite far away, but I'll try and get some footage. And obviously we've got the usual crested grebe. That looks like a young one there, and there's ducks and geese. And yeah, when I was here last time I filmed it, I quite enjoyed it. It looks like there's fizzing over there actually. Looks like it's a bit of fizzing, a bit more than just rain. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the water for a bit. As I say, this is peg 13. They have just been, last time I was here, which was in March, it was all just mud and soil and stuff, which was quite muddy, but they have now gravelled it out, so they're really nice pegs. I say, I'll just show you up here on the roadway. They have literally gravelled. This was just a mud track, and last time I came here it was all flooded, but you can see there's a peg next to me there. That's just become free after I got here. There was a guy just left on that, was on peg 12, and he had a couple of small ones, like 4 or 5 pounds. I've not heard anything big caught for a while. Obviously this is the island, and it's like a star shape. I'll overlay a picture of it. And last time I was over the other side of this island, and then the other side of this bit here is the bowl, which is where Glyn fished last time. So you can see one of the bridges through there, the little brown one. There's another one up here. You can see it there actually through the gap. That's where I was last time. So I'm on the opposite side. I really wanted to get round the corner, which is further down on this bank here. That looks like a really nice bit through here and beyond the back of here, but as I say, there was only this peg that was free when I got here, so I'm quite happy with it. I mean, it's only 6 wraps out, so I'm going to be accurate. It's not they're not massive chucks anyway, but the only place I've seen a fish is here, so hopefully combined with that and the lucky kingfisher, we can try and catch something. And it's just a really nice venue. It's really quiet. I say it's also a caravan park, so I think there's a few dog walkers that come up and down here, but other than that, it's really picturesque. Mega quiet, mega carpy, and fingers crossed I can do it justice and catch one. My PB is 21, so I would really take any fish so I don't blank, but if I can catch something over 21 pounds, I'll be absolutely made up. Come on. But it's absolutely bleak out there. I am just filming a kingfisher. See him up there on this branch, just there. You can literally see him. And there in the middle, right in the middle, a speck of blue. The rain's finally stopped, so I can give you a little update. Be quiet, fella. So I have done some spods over this rod. Basically this is 6 wraps from this rod over to underneath that tree, which is the archway into the other side of the island. So I've done that at 6 wraps. Put about six spods out, not many, just to see whether I can get a fish to come in and feed on it. So that is 6 wraps. My left hand rod, I've literally just underarm chucked it, nowhere specific. There was some fizzing coming up there, so I've chucked it over there. The fizzing stops. I've either spooked the fish off or they've moved on. And then the right hand rod, I have wrapped it. It's going to sound really silly, but I've wrapped it at 3 wraps. Did an underarm chuck in line with this tree here, so it's about here. And I wrapped it basically so I've got it accurate. I've also wrapped the spod rod and just underarm chucked about 4 or 5 spods of mix over the top. So that's done. So just a little concentration of bait. There has been fizzing around here a few times today. I don't think it's oxygen bubbles in the column. I think it is actually fish, because we've seen it a few times. You can see there's a few over there now. There seems to be fish, not right in the side, they seem to be about that area coming around. So I've underarm chucked that out at 3 wraps with a load of bait, and we'll see what goes on from there. Say finally the rain has stopped. What are you doing in there? What are you doing? There's no food, you little weirdo. It's like last time when Glyn had his had the cat in the bivvy. I think I'm gonna end up with a little moorhen coot, whatever it is. So that's the rod's done. So fingers crossed they switch on later on. Other than that, there's not been much to update. It's been absolutely chucking it down since 8:30 this morning. So unfortunately I've not done a lot of filming. It's been trying to watch the water and gauge where they are, and we'll see what happens. It's fizzing over there again. So yeah, I'm gonna get back in before the rain starts again, and see what happens as we go into the evening. I'm in. 2 o'clock in the morning. initial thought is catfish. Well, I just had a massive fight with the fish. It's just after 2 o'clock I hooked this fish, and it is a really nice carp. Big common. Oh, let's hope it's over 20 pounds. If it's over 20 pounds, I've finally done it. This net's huge, and that fish could be. Still nervous, still shaking, absolutely cracking. That's a left hand rod. Let's get it weighed. Well, as I said, I hooked this fish just after 2 o'clock in the morning. My left hand rod that had the pink magic bean with her OG fish mesh bag. The way it went, I thought it was a catfish, 100% sure, but it is an absolutely stunning, fully scaled mirror carp, and in it is exactly 17.5 pound. So unfortunately, it's not the PB of 21 pound for a mirror carp, but it's an absolutely stunning mirror carp. A blank saver, a welcome relief. So I'm going to get a picture, get my rod back out, and just literally cast into the middle where I saw the fizz in earlier, and hopefully I can get another one in the night. Proper made up. Cracking. Fish care in its mouth. It's under the hook. Absolutely stunning. We'll get it back. Beautiful. Get in. Not really thought this through. I've got camo and camo. Bit camouflaged. Good morning. Nothing last night after that carp at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a couple of liners on my middle rod, which was underneath the archway, but yeah, nothing else. Yeah, it's a bit weird that rod that went is the only rod that I've not put any spod mix over, whereas the middle rod and the right hand rod I have done. But I left that left one as a roving rod, and as you know, I had orange magic beans on to start with, and I was chatting to Drew. You'll remember Drew from when I fished Pheasants Wood. He's the one that screams when there's rats, and he catches loads of bream. He actually catches some nice carp, but I just always wind him up. But yeah, he's fished here before and he recommended yellow bait, so I switched 2 of the rods over to a yellow magic bean. Last night when I was filming the fish, I thought it was the pink magic bean. It wasn't in the net, but I thought that was the pink magic bean rod, but after reeling in this morning I've realised that was the yellow magic bean. So yeah, so I've switched all my rods this morning onto a yellow magic bean, and I've literally picked another 2 random spots. So I'm not actually fishing over bait now, because that single rod that I put with a mesh bag and cast it out pub chuck to some fizzing yesterday, that's the one that went. I'm trying to film, shush, bloody bird. So I've literally recast the middle rod out back towards the archway, but I've brought it back a wrap, so it's only at 5 wraps now to try, because there was a load of debris where the trees had been falling, so it's just out from the tree. And then the right hand rod I've just underarm chucked again, but I've not gone for that rounded tree at 3 wraps. I've literally just pub chucked it where I saw some fizzing. So and that they're all on yellow magic beans, which are these from Parker Baits. You would have seen these before on my channel. The pink ones I've done really well on my Syndicate Lake. The yellow ones did really well at Brookside when I was fishing for the catfish, so hopefully the catfish might take a yellow bait as well. And then I am using the usual mesh bags. I was using solid bags, but rather than micro pellet I wanted something a little bit bigger, so I'm using the OG Fish. They've got like 4 and 6mm pellets in, so I'm using those. And then I've got the usual flat spots that I drizzle those in. Was that you or was that a fish? Bloody bird. So yeah, I'm using the usual flat spots drizzled over the top. And yeah, I've had a couple of liners this morning on the middle rod, which is over towards the archway, and I couldn't see any fish. Couldn't see any bird life, so I'm hoping that was some sort of fish that was going around where my bait is. I've seen a couple jump up against the island, but they've only been like 5-pounders. Nothing decent. The guy in the corner to the right of me has had a 22-pounder early this morning, so fingers crossed the bites have switched on. So my rods are back out. It was nice when I woke up, but I think it's starting to cloud over and it might rain again, so I might be bivvy bound again today. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. As I say, I'll hopefully get another fish today. I don't know whether to spod and try another spot. I might spod later on this afternoon and create a catfish spot for night time to see whether I can get a cat. Somebody's caught a 50-pound cat on the other side, I think near the peg that I fished last time I was here. But other than that, they're the only fish that have come out, so I'm quite chuffed I've caught the relief. I don't know why, but every time when you catch a fish, the whole session the pressure just drops. So yeah, I'm relieved I've caught one. Unfortunately it wasn't a PB. As I say, my PB mirror is £21, the one I caught at Brookside, but it was an absolutely stunning fully scaled mirror. It's made my session. So yeah, I'll stop waffling and watch the water, see whether I can see any fish, and fingers crossed we'll catch something later on.
Well, for the rest of the morning I watched the water to see if I could see any fish. The only activity that I could see was right up against the island, so I knew that was going to be where my next cast would be. It's at times like this in a tranquil environment where I appreciate fishing. and I understand why a lot of people do it to escape everyday hectic life.
A little update. 4:30 and there's been nothing. And I've seen fish down the edge of this bit here. I've seen them for the last couple of days. It's sort of the border of my swim. I don't like going to the very edges of my swim, but the guy next to me who would be his swim, he's just gone. He's moved further around to be with somebody else. So I'm going to chuck a solid bag, one of these. I'm going to chuck one of these. I've just done the wraps, and it's 7.5 wraps, and that'll take me about half a wrap or so off the island. And that's where I've seen fish topping all afternoon when I've been watching the water. So I'm going to inject it with some flat spot, like so. So it's nice and full, and we'll get it fired out off that island there, and hopefully I can nick a bite. Yeah, other than that, it's been really quiet today. I've literally just been filming wildlife and chilling out. So yeah, the bite time's going to come back on, I think, around this time. There was fish fizzing and showing. So I'm literally going to chuck that out there, see whether I can nick a fish. And then my 2 outside rods, I'm just going to do a bit of a roving cast to fizz in, like what I did last night. And yeah, I've got no set spots now, because the fish don't seem to be feeding consistently in one place. You just see fizzing every now and again, but down that back bit I've seen fish all day, so I'll get my rod out there and see if I can nick a bite. Quick update. It's now 9:30 at night, and I have had absolutely nothing all day. It's been an odd fish jumping, not loads of activity, and as you can see, it started raining about half an hour ago, and I'm hoping it's not into the night, because I've got to be off here for 8 o'clock in the morning, so I've got to pack all this down. So I'll be up at 5 to get it all sorted. My left hand rod, I have got it pub chucked out here, a similar place to where I got the carp last night. This left hand rod is over, you saw me cast it off here where there was fish. There's odd fish been jumping there and down there, so I've got that one there. And then my right hand rod, I didn't want to move this rod, but there was a fish jumping in the middle of there, close to where all that bait was, so I've literally chucked that out at 6 wraps, and it only just clipped that branch and went in, so that's in a decent spot at 6 wraps. So yeah, I've taken my rod away from down this side, because even though the guy here had one, there's been nothing showing, so I've literally taken that right rod from there and cast it out there. So that's the rod set for the night. I'm going to pack some stuff up, so I've got less to do in the morning, so fingers crossed it's productive like last night and I can get a fish. Other than that, I'll probably just do a quick update in the morning, or it might be in my car because it's going to be dark in the morning and I need to get off early. So yeah, I'm going to retire in my bivvy, watch a movie and wind down, and fingers crossed I can catch something again in the night. But it's an absolutely stunning venue. I recommend anybody that comes to Coole Acres, I definitely recommend it. It's a really nice venue. I'll 100% be back because it just looks so picturesque. It's so quiet, and there's some stunning carp in it. It's been a really tough session this time. There's only a handful of fish come out. Somebody caught a big cat around 50 pounds, and then I've had that 17.5. The guys had a 20, 22 in that corner, and I think that's it. Not a lot. So it's fishing really hard. So normally I'm all negative, and not negative, but I'm normally like, oh, wish I'd caught more and stuff like that. But in this context, I'm just happy that I've caught, and it's fishing really hard. So I think I've redeemed myself from my last session that I did on the syndicate. You would have seen that video where I blanked and Glyn caught 7. So I've got a bit more confidence back again, and see what happens in the night. Fingers crossed. Well, good morning. Nothing through the night, unfortunately. Had beeps on all 3 rods, just single beeps. The bobbin lifting up about 1 inch and then dropping back down. So it's either, I don't think it's pickups, I think it's there must be a trailing line from a catfish or something, because the amount of little single knocks and line movements, you just think it's not a pickup, otherwise I would have hooked them. But yeah, looks like that's it. 48 hours at Coole Acres on Fox Lake. 1 carp, 17.5 pound. From what I've heard this morning, a 30's come out from the peg that I was on my last session, just across the bridge. And other than that, there's a couple of fish being caught, but for how you would think it would fish, it's just not produced. But yeah, I've got a fish. I've not blanked, and roll on to the next one. So I'm going to do the slow pack down because it's now 10 to 7 and I need to be off at 8 o'clock. So I am pushing it a bit because it normally takes me about 3 hours to pack up. So yeah, that's it. So if you like the video, if you just give it a quick like, I really would appreciate it. If Glyn was here, he would tell you to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my social medias, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.